we're wonderful today.
Are we?
Yes.
Good. We need to be. We definitely need to be. I was sitting there. I was like, I hope she's still alive.
Listen, all I know is 1 minute I was looking at the clock, the next minute was 30 minutes later. I said, oh, no, we can't do this.
No, we can't do that. Cannot. How are you lovely ladies doing?
Great. Besides working and trying to get my business together and chugging right along.
I heard that. How are you, Amber?
I'm doing good. Just online shopping. So hanging out. I can't wait for this weather. We got like a little sneak peek of spring, and I was like, just kidding. No.
It was like almost.
Yeah. So it's like it was snowing really hard this morning, but it slowed down. It's supposed to be in the high 40s Monday, Tuesday. So. But it's gonna snow all weekend. So yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
All weekend?
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be a lot of snow?
I mean, it's not supposed to stick because it'll melt. It'll start melting on Monday, but it's supposed to be flurries all weekend.
Oh, I got to get on the road and get doing what I do.
Right.
Doing what I do. Let's jump right into this. Happy Saturday, lovely people. Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to Shop Talk with Mel. I want you guys all to understand we have our virtual people, and I want you guys to understand that we are doing all of this at one time. So if you see me looking away, for the people that are viewing it on our live streaming, social media live streaming, that's why. So we rocking, y'all. Seven. Look, we got 7. We rocking. Today's topic is any suggestions. So I'll get that out there. And what I mean by any suggestions is that there's so much going on all the time. Any suggestions on how to correct this issue? Any issue. So it's an open mic for my lovely people. But I want to start off by introducing our Black History Spotlight out of Mobile, Alabama. I want you lovely people to give a round of applause to Mr. Ware. There's the round. All right. Listen, I did Mr. Ware. I said Mr. Ware. I know Marcus, but I said Mr. Ware. Try to keep it professional. Because for some unknown reason, you remember business owners, you knew them by Mr. and Mrs. Now everybody just calls on first name basis. Are we are we that relaxed? Are we?
Somewhere the professionalism just went away. I don't know what happened.
Right? We know eventually we're going to get on to that. So, owner of TECHNICRAFT, Marcus Ware, Mr. Ware, if you're nasty.
You calling me Marcus.
I can call you Marcus.
Church. Come on now.
You're right. Yeah, we go all the way back. Marcus, hi.
How you been doing, Mel?
I've been doing very well. I looked and they pulled the name and I said, boom, let me reach out. And actually, I've been busy, so I want to apologize to you and I thank you for, replying back, because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But I thank you.
I was kind of lost. I was just like watching the news. I'm looking and you like, hey, get ready. I'm like, what? I just been doing my TECHNICRAFT tea, got my coffee and got in front of the computer.
Let's get ready. Yes, he was chosen for Black History Month. Shop Talk with Mel is spotlighting business owners, Black business owners. All right, let us be clear. And TECHNICRAFT owner Marcus Ware was the winner for this week. So here's how it's going to go, because we got to talk to you about what you do and all that good stuff. Look at him looking like, what's she about to say? I ain't get warmed up yet. I'm not warmed up, so you're safe.
I don't do too much. It's not really exciting.
It's all good. Actually, let's just jump right into this. But let me say this. Your ad will run all week. It'll also be on the website. So when you see it coming, don't think I'm stalking you. Tell Mrs. Ware. Just it's just an ad. It's just an ad. And I know that in some businesses that I've encountered, let me say that, and there's a wife involved, I like to reach out to the spouse to let them know just out of mere respect. This, even in everything that I do, honestly, I'm like, is your wife coming? You know, to kind of ease the mind, because there's a lot of extra stuff out there, Nick, you know.
Yes. A lot of extra.
Right, and you'll be like, wait a minute, hold on. So that she knows where I'm coming from and understand that it's all professional.
I was trying to kind of explain to her, because TECHNICRAFT has two parts.
I saw her logo.
Yeah, and I was trying to tell her, and she's been under the weather, you know. So
oh, okay.
She really didn't kind of know. She was like, I was like, but I need you to tell your part.
I was hoping that she was coming on. I really was. But you can explain her part too, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's start. What is TECHNICRAFT?
Well, basically, I left Ohio, took the leap of faith, and came down to Mobile. You know, and I was like, start a business. And I knew a lot of mechanics out there could put a motor in your car, could put a transmission in your car. But electronics was an issue. So I was like, I'm just going to work on electrical systems. So I reached out to all the dealerships. And, because a lot of people don't know about electrical issues of vehicles. So I started doing I would do all the, you take your car to the dealership and that check engine light is on.
Uh-huh.
And it's off for 2 days, and you're like,
it healed itself.
Right. Because they don't know electrical systems. They're just switching parts. They're just switching parts until they find the right part. So I would troubleshoot down to exactly what it was, And from there, we did upgrades. Like now, when you can buy a car, it got Bluetooth in it. It got internet in it. It has everything in it. Older cars didn't have that. So I was taking older cars and updating them with newer stuff that's in cars now, navigation and all that type of stuff. So, and customizing, I customize Harleys, just do a lot. So I was doing all that. And my wife was like, everybody has a refrigerator, a stove, a washer and dryer. Everybody has this. I'm sure everybody listening right now might have one appliance in their house that's not working exactly the way it's supposed to work. Like your dryer might not dry all the clothes. It might not go through the whole cycle. Your stove might just shut down when your meal is
on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
That happens a lot.
It was like, we need to start TECHNICRAFT Home. So TECHNICRAFT Home does home warranty work.
Okay.
So you can call us to, fix your whatever, but we really work with warranty companies. Like if you have that home warranty and your stove, like I said, your stove go out, I worked on people's stuff on Thanksgiving Day. Like, man, we need this today, So she just hooked it up. When we get emails, get calls, or whatever, we go out. So it's kind of like multiple streams of income. And now TECHNICRAFT Home does a lot more than TECHNICRAFT. TECHNICRAFT is almost like a hobby now, but TECHNICRAFT Home is a major. And it was totally her idea. So behind every strong black man is a stronger black woman.
And that'll preach.
That's right. Yeah.
And she always said, Marcus, I was just playing around in the beginning, which TECHNICRAFT is my hobby. I really enjoy doing the motorcycles and stuff like that. But TECHNICRAFT Home is a foundation, which that was her idea. She came up with it. That's why that's her picture on the logo.
Good. I saw yours. And I saw hers and I was like, boom, that's it. And the reason I want to talk about that for a second, as far as like you guys using your face, because I saw that there's different TECHNICRAFT companies. It was like, how do you determine who you are? How do you stand out? How are you separated from the rest? Well, it sounded like that TECHNICRAFT home, so I answered that question. Yeah, because I didn't see that at all. But I'm big on branding yourself. And especially with people that is, they're jumping out there and it's like, okay, how do I know that somebody else isn't acting like you? Or, how many times like back in the day with like Salt and Pepper, I'm just going to throw that back, that whole thing. I can't remember who was promoting their concert, but it wasn't the real Salt and Pepper. Matter of fact, they covered that on their documentary on Lifetime. I think they covered that.
Right.
And it's like, okay, just two girls and boom, you're like, okay, that's Salt and Pepper, we going, that's it. And that's not who they really are. So I appreciate you guys having your face on there so that people can actually see that. I'll have their flyer out too and their logo up so you guys can see, so there's no shady business. It's like, oh, this is it, and coming in off of something else. Not to say, this is just an example, TECHNICRAFT companies, not to say that you'll do it, but you need to be able to say, this is who we are. And you have to stand out and not be just the same, because you can have you got your t-shirt. Sit up, Marcus. Let me see what it says. TECHNICRAFT. Okay. So it's like, okay, you see TECHNICRAFT and they might go in and be like, oh, we're here to fix your stove or your electronic refrigerator. I had an electronic refrigerator. It stopped working or whatever. I ended up giving that stainless steel refrigerator away. Paid money for it, but I was so frustrated. I was like, you know what? I'm moving. You can have it if you can fix it. And a guy who could fix it, he took it.
You know the bad thing about that? I told everybody, do not buy the refrigerator with the pad on the front. I was like, don't get that refrigerator. Because, too many problems. Whatever. It could be too many problems, basically. I needed a refrigerator. I went to Best Buy, and that refrigerator kept calling. Stephanie was like, you want that refrigerator, don't you? I told everybody don't get that refrigerator, but I kind of love it. It's terrible, because I know when it go down, I'll be pissed about it. I'll watch YouTube. I'll be lit, because I cook. I look up recipes right on the refrigerator in my kitchen. It's crazy. So, that's kind of a hobby of mine, too, cooking. I cook like 4 times a week, so.
Okay. You doing it? All right, Mrs. Ware.
A little something.
I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all.
In there.
But that refrigerator looks so nice, though, don't it? It's laid out.
I do. I love it.
I'm like, it's laid out.
When I need stuff, it'd be like, hey, you need cheese, you need butter.
Right. Nick, you seen it. You've been to my house. And that was like the first one. Man, listen. But I'm not an electrician. So it didn't benefit me. It was like, I'm tired of that. Let me buy this black basic refrigerator, old school, 2 sides. So in my kitchen, I had 2 refrigerators.
Sure did.
I'm like, when that, because it would work sometime and then it wouldn't work. And it was like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? So it was like a maze, boom, 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 just a mess. But you being able to do those things, I'm sure it'll save you money. Now, what I saw on yours, and when I was reading on TECHNICRAFT, I saw like the woofers, souping up, like you said, the Harleys. I don't have a Harley, so shout out to the Suzuki riders out there. But I saw that, and I was all into the music. Anybody that knows me, I like music. So that's what I was looking at. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I can tell you more about that. I got into the Harley situation because when I was still in Ohio, I had a guy who was supposed to build me a bike, and I kept getting spin or whatever. So when I came down, when I finally got the chopper, and I moved down here.
Okay.
It wasn't practical for me and Stephanie. It was more of a show bike. I won a couple trophies with it. I really couldn't ride the way I wanted to ride. We couldn't go from here to Biloxi or from here to Pensacola, So I said I'm gonna build a bagger, and I hope Stephanie can't hear me because she in there asleep. But I was paying this guy. I took my chopper and traded it. He was gonna build me this bagger, how I wanted it. So I drew it out first. I know I'm also an artist, so I drew out exactly what I wanted. And he was supposed to build this bike. This goes on for about a year and a half, giving this guy money. He never did anything. Never. So I was like, I'm going to get my bike. I got my bike. And then I was like, I went to YouTube University. I just started watching YouTube videos. And I built it. I built it in the garage. I built a bike. I don't paint. I had to have somebody paint it. I don't sew. I had somebody do the seat, but I did the majority of the bike.
Okay.
And I can't really show it for the computer. I would have to get this on my phone, but it's a beautiful bike. So me just doing that's how I got into building other people's bikes and doing.
Okay, so it just expanded.
Yeah, it kind of went from. Well, I could already do stereos on bikes before I started on my bike because I was just doing electronics.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I built my bike, people started saying, "Marcus, can you do this to my bike? Can you do this to my bike?" So
that's what happened.
How I got into building bikes. It's crazy because I do so much stuff. Back in the day, I used to airbrush. It's like I do so much different stuff, and I just do what I can do. Like I'm building I'm building somebody a bike in Ohio right now. She's a president of a motorcycle club, but nobody knows I'm building this bike. And it's about to be so mean, though. I really want to talk about it because it's in the works right now, but I don't think she wants me to mention it. So.
And that's fine. That's fine. I appreciate it because I am that person too. I'm that person. I'll be like, I just want to come out on the scene and be like, boom.
That's exactly how she's like, because I'm airbrushing it. I'm doing so much to it. And it's like, you see pictures of my red bike.
Yes.
It's like killing my bike. When I say it's killing my bike, I don't even want to ride with it. I'm like, oh. It's like.
See, that's a good thing. But it seems like you were saying the things that you were doing and creating and the things that you like to do, it all leads you back to the same road. Like you said, you like to cook. Recipes. Trying something new. It's all, even though it's a different thing, but it's still the different recipes and what you're adding to actually the creativity. It's all together leading you to this path right now. I have to ask you a question though. You said that you were paying somebody all this money to do your bike and they didn't do it. Did you get your money back?
No, that's my question. Huh?
No, not one red cent.
So with that being, wait a minute, y'all can come right back, but I have to ask this question real quick and y'all can ask them all the questions you want. So no, you didn't get your money back. Now you're doing the service for other people. What do you require a down payment or is it their word since you've already been burned? Tell me.
Half up front and half when it's done.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Y'all can ask all the questions.
You didn't get your money back, man. Ooh,
no, and the bad thing about it, I was paying them in lump sums, so I don't even want to calculate how much I gave this guy.
Okay.
I just know I gave him some money.
Go ahead, Amber.
When I say thousands.
See, the wife and me would have been like, no, we going back. He gonna give us that money.
That's why she don't know. That's why she doesn't sleep.
But if she happen to watch this later, she gonna find out.
I'm gonna delete all this.
So did you not pursue legal? Are you planning on pursuing legal action against this person?
You know what? A lot of times, to me, it's life's lessons. I learned so much from the experience. I feel paid back because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know how to build,
Okay.
Like, when I got into, Well, I graduated out of East High in '87. I moved. I'm originally from Cleveland, so I went back to Cleveland to stay with my sister. I'm putting the radio in her car because I'm into electronics. I go to the stereo shop because I need a faceplate for the radio. And guys, Rick and Mike, they own a stereo shop called Supreme Cyber Security. So they're like, Mark, you can put radios in? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. They was like, we'll pay you $50 a week. This was in 1987, $50 a week. I was driving from Youngstown to Cleveland, making $50 a week. And my kids were like, you was only making $50 a week? And I lied to my mother. They gave me something on letterhead said I made more than what I made. I made a car loan. So I could get back and forth for $50 a week. Years later, I think I might have worked there for about 2 years. Years later, Rick died, you know. This is like 2005. I was going to Rick's funeral. Okay, I'm in my early 30s. I cried all the way 65 miles to this man's funeral. And it might sound crazy, but I was working for the city of Youngstown, and I was like, I work for this guy for $50 a week, but I'm still getting paid off of what he taught me today. I'm getting paid right now from what those guys taught me. Yeah, $50 a week it don't sound like nothing, but then when I get checks that drop $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 a week, that's from what they taught me back then. So it was an investment.
Okay.
The same way that guy took my money, I learned from that, and I taught myself how to build bikes. I would have never learned if he wouldn't have took my money.
Okay.
You know, I'd have never did it. I'd have probably just paid somebody, oh, do this for me. But now, that experience, I can do it myself. And I can start somebody else. So I'm still making my money back. So I look at stuff like life's lessons a lot of times. If I go to that man, I got to get a lawyer, pay for that. But I've learned so much from that experience, I feel like he paid me back and more. Just like Rick did with Supreme Cyber Security, that $50 a week. Now, far less than went now. Man.
That's awesome. Now, there's a suggestion. Everything don't need to go to court, especially when you look at the bigger picture.
I learned more from Rick and Mike for that $50 a week than I learned in tech school. I didn't learn anything in technical school. I went to 2 different tech schools. I ain't learned nothing. I clowned the whole time. I had it in my head, but they brought it out of me. You know, I knew what it was, and I wasn't using it. I was in class cracking on people, being in the class clown, whatever. I went to chauffeur for electronics. I got kicked out the last week before I got my certification. I went to chauffeur for 2 years. I think the principal was a Mr. Brown.
Yep. He was there when I was there.
So bad. The last week he kicked me out of the show. I've been there for 2 years.
The last week?
The last week.
And I didn't get my certification. And I went to electronic school after that, and I just BS'd. But when I got into the real world, that's when the stuff I did learn, that's when it started coming out, you know. So.
Wow. So,
Question.
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Since you do a lot of electrical work and adding things on older cars, do you add the rear view cameras on older cars?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Hey.
The what? The rear view? Oh, you mean that back thing, that light that's under the license or above the license plate or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You can put them on license plates. You can mount them in the trunk. You can mount them in the bumper. It's a lot of different places you can mount it, you know.
Okay. I didn't know. So if I had how far back on vehicles, like my grandmother had that LTD Ford. So so if you have, let's say the cars, the classic cars,
Right.
That could be put on a classic car. I mean, I don't know if the classic cars really would want it upgraded if it would depreciate in the value, but have you done that?
Oh yeah. Dude had a 70-something Cutlass. He wanted to upgrade the stereo system. He wanted Bluetooth. He wanted this and that, but he didn't want to lose the look of the car.
Okay.
So basically, they make a radio that looks just like the older version of a radio, but it's updated.
Okay.
It'll have the Bluetooth. It'll have this and that, but it still looked like that old school Cutlass radio.
Okay.
And then they got like, you can add. There's so much stuff out there. I could put a stereo on a baby carriage. You know what I'm saying? I can do anything. You know, it's just I look at so much as far as technology. I'm always trying to stay ahead. You know, whatever's going on, I'm trying to be the first. All right, I got this now. I got that now. I'm always experimenting. Like, and my mother had a 91 sedan. My mom had that white Cadillac with the blue top. Well, back then, I forgot what year this was. This might have been.
Oh, that mug was slick. Like, it was everything.
92 or 93. No one had TVs in their cars. The TV craze is going on. No one had TVs in their cars. So my mother she had retired. She started watching the stories. And she like, Marcus, I want a TV in my car. I'm like, I can do that.
Now that's faith.
What I did was, if you remember those little 5-inch screen TVs, they were small little portable TVs. People take them like to the beach. They would take
Yes.
I took that TV apart, took the back off of it. It has a remote control. No, that was to the VCR. But basically what I did was I built the console in the car. Like if you're in a BMW, you know how it splits. You got a console that comes down between the seat to separate the two seats. Well, I built that for my mom's Cadillac. No Cadillacs had this. Nobody had this. I couldn't do upholstery. But I had, I can't remember the upholstery place. Cyclone, there's a place called Cyclone in Youngstown. Cyclone took the blue leather to match the car, covered it, and made it look like it fit in the car. I put the TV in, wired it up, whatever. Put a VCR in the trunk. This was VCRs was out then. We didn't have no DVD players and all that. And took the infrared sensor. Like if you point your remote at your TV, there's a sensor that picks up when you change the channel. I hooked that sensor to like a phone cord, ran it to the front of the car, so when she had her VCR in the trunk, she can control it from the front of the vehicle. So she took it to the dealership for an oil change or something. And dude was like, I didn't know they put TVs in Cadillacs. I've never seen this before. She's like, my son did this. He thought it was like a factory addition to her 91 sedan DeVille.
Wow.
I've been, like I said, I'm always trying to get to the next thing. And nobody in Youngstown had a TV in their car but my mom back then.
That's what I'm saying. That's faith, because I'm going to tell you, I would not ever let my son. I'd be like, put a TV in my car. Like,
That sound crazy, don't it?
Like the faith from, 20 to 30 years ago to now. And I kind of feel bad. I need to see the work. I need to see somebody. I need to see you practice on somebody else before I be like, go ahead.
But no, you know what? When we did that, I wasn't even thinking about a TV in the car. Like, it wasn't even nobody thought of it. Nobody had that. My mom wanted a TV in her car. Let's go put a TV in her car. That's what I did. It was what she wanted. And I knew when she said it, I knew I can do it, but I never thought about doing it for nobody else. She's like, Marcus, I want a TV in my car. I said, okay. And my mind just went to it. It was a no-brainer. It wasn't nothing to think about. That's what mom wants. That's what I'm about to do.
And I'm going to make it happen.
Make it happen, yeah.
See, that's all right. What happened to our faith now as time went on?
Girl, too
My
much
son
stuff.
ain't put no TV in my car right now. And I put it in mine. No.
That's funny because even with you saying, like you said, you got kicked out right before the end.
Yeah.
And she was like, put this in my car. Like, okay, let's keep it moving. That's all right.
I seen Mr. Brown somewhere. I was like, man, you kicked me out right before I got my certification. He just looked at me like I was crazy.
He did. How you?
2 years. But I was terrible in high school, though. That's what it was.
You were funny. A lot of fun.
Yeah, too much fun.
Right. Now $50 a week. I'm over here, my wheels turning. $50 a week, like you said, your son was like, that's it?
Yeah.
But back then, that was a lot, though. That was like, what, almost 10-5?
I was driving to Cleveland every day.
Yeah, I would say maybe.
Oh, wait. You was going every day.
Yeah, I was standing next. I was going back and forth.
Look, man, Amber.
Work every day.
Yeah. Maybe $50
a little bit more
a
as
day.
an apprenticeship. Like it was an apprenticeship.
Huh?
Right? I mean, you're describing it as like an apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. $50 a week. That's $200. Wait, how old were you?
It don't add up. Trust me, it don't add up.
But wait,
I was
how
always hustling.
how old were you?
I was like 19, 18. I had just graduated.
Yeah. 87. $50 a week. That's like some old school movie that we watching today.
And people don't believe it.
They be like, what?
I can't believe that. You did it. And I drove 65 miles there and 65 miles back every day.
Man, that's crazy. But wait a minute. Okay. So $50 a week, 4 weeks in a month, that's $200.
Mm-hmm.
How many weeks is it in a year? 50? Is it 52? What is it?
52.
Oh, it is 52. Okay. I'm thinking about cards. I'm telling people I'm a card player. I'm like 52 pickup. How much? So 52. So that's almost 10-5. Yeah. A year though.
And I had a car payment.
Oh, yeah, you out. Never mind. But that's like, because I know adults who were making less than that a year though. If you go back.
Wow.
And it's like, that whole fixed income might be getting assistance. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. That's why I'm going back to 87. In my mind, Nick, you rolled back with us. And it's like, it doesn't seem like much, but it explains why our youth have the vehicles that they have. Because I ain't lying. The teacher's lounge the teacher's parking lot looked like the students' parking lot back in my day. I be pulling up, I go over there, and they was like, oh, no, that's the students' parking lot. You park over there. All brand new cars now.
The world dang.
And the teachers is rolling around with like a Chevette. I'm like, oh, this is a whole new world. So I'm sure your sons were like, dude, you did that? I wouldn't even took that job.
Yeah, but I like I said, it still pays me today.
Mm-hmm.
It pays today and yesterday, and it speaks volumes overall because it's not now I call it the generation of entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, that's probably why. I'm like, no, you can't put a TV in my car. Whereas we worked, and I'm not saying this entire generation because that will be a falsehood, but there's a lot of the youth, prime example. Oh, you did a no-call, no-show. Just an example. People that know me know I've been in management. That's a no-call, no-show. What's going on? You have to come to work or you're not going to be having a job. Well, it was my birthday and I don't work on my birthday. Not the proper procedure of putting in your paperwork. Well, my birthday is on my application. So this is what you lightweight looking at right now, where you be like, well, I ain't really look at your birthday on your application. I just saw that you were legal and able to work in the country. Not a Well, I don't work on my birthday, but y'all knew that because I put it on my application. For real, that's what we doing now. And even like it's a lack of stability as well. Because they'll like have a job today and whoever paying more, which I gotta commend them a little bit on this. Whoever is paying more, they gone. They're like, oh, okay, I don't have a job. I quit that job. 30 days later, I'll find another one. And the reason I say I commend them, because like with us, it was a stability thing, one. But two, we were more dedicated to a company that wasn't dedicated to us. This younger generation is like, I might be here tomorrow. So in management, you'd be like, I hope I had a staff. And this is pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. So I see that. So thank you for coming on and sharing some knowledge, because you kicked some knowledge.
Oh, thanks.
Some serious knowledge.
I was just speaking my truth, basically.
It's amazing. And then looking at how the things that you were doing younger. So you're a people person, customer service, because you always had us rolling. So you got our attention, and it's like, okay, boom, here you go. So you have all of that, and it kind of just built up to where you are now when you actually look at it, because it's not, when you said it's like you were here, you were doing this, you were doing that, the whole creativity was there. And I just think that parents should look at that. You know how you have children who jump up and down? I was talking to a good friend of mine, Levinsky, and Levinsky was the jumper, the gymnast, the flipping, and then you look at the young people who flip, jump on beds and all that other stuff. You're like, sit down, jumping on couches. Right. And he shared his story, and that's what he did. And guess where he was at? Dancing on Broadway.
Right.
So starting small and things that may be annoying to you, because I know to me, and I'm gonna be honest, like you said, you were doing your things, taking things apart, and we be like, no, don't do that as a parent.
You know what? I was gonna speak on that. My mother would come home from working by Marcus, put the TV back together. I was just taking stuff apart, and I was trying to figure out I don't know why. I was trying to figure out what it was. Why did it do this? And she was like, "Well, if you don't put my TV back together," it was crazy, man. It was crazy, but I can imagine me coming home. And my kid I would lose my mind.
Right.
I'm like, my TV is taken apart. And just think about how much TVs was back then.
Right.
Man. Wow.
Right. But look, if you had a second TV, you'd be like, well, my show coming on in 30 minutes, you heard, put that back, But parents wouldn't actually be just lax. So the moral of the story is, key in on those talents and don't just constantly just beat your child to death. Just watch them. Give them something. This is what they're interested in. Key in on it and say, okay, let's mold this. Let's put this, let's see what you can do with this. Instead of the whole sit down, be quiet. Don't, it's just a lot.
Yeah, I was like when I was younger, Mom, I was like in the art. I didn't get into electronics until I moved to Youngstown when I was like 15. But I went to Cleveland School of Arts. Remember the show Fame?
Oh, that was my favorite, because I was gonna be on Fame.
School of Arts was just like Fame.
Yes.
I had my portfolio with me, whatever. So when I came to East, I got in the art class. Willie Duck was in my art class, and I seen just normal kids. Everybody in this class could draw. I just left in Cleveland School of Arts, and I'm thinking I'm going to this school because I can draw. I'm a draw for Marvel one day. But I went to a regular high school, and it was a class full of people. I was like, I gotta find something else. There's too many people,
doing the same thing.
Right.
So that's where he gets his nickname from, Will Duck Art. Okay, got it.
Yep. I was like, everybody here can draw. I was like, man, you know what? I'm about to get into electronics. My dad was always saying, computers is the future. Computers. He's like, you drawing. Computers is the future, so.
Oh, that's all right.
I went to show because I didn't know nobody at East. My nephew, Willie Mabry, was going to show for electronics. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to show for Willie. And that's how I got into it.
Awesome.
But I was still mechanically inclined, whatever before that. It just, I didn't really know stuff until
So your logo, you drew your logo?
Oh, this logo?
No, with you guys' face. You drew your picture?
No, I got a friend. Man, that's crazy. This logo, that picture where it came from. Me and my buddy Mike Mapson, we were younger in East Cleveland. We used to sit on the porch and draw. And it was a little kid. It was a duplex, side by side or whatever you call it. Mike lived on the right. They lived on the left. And me and Mike would be on the porch drawing. Had no idea this little baby, or this little kid was playing on the porch, was paying attention to me and Mike drawing. He's an artist right now in Cleveland.
Wow.
I had to have him do that logo for me. I could have did it, but just me and Mike was his inspiration. So
that's awesome.
Like, when he has to do the logo. Okay, nobody else do it.
That is awesome. Yeah, I gotta be a cornball.
Who knew this little kid knew we were drawing? This little kid, he was just, his mother would put him on the porch. They would have a little block thing where he couldn't get off the porch. He would be up there playing by himself. We ain't paying this dude no attention.
That is amazing. So how did you find out that he was paying attention to you guys?
Because his older brother, Kareem, is our age, Okay. And I'm trying to think of he's my friend on Facebook. I can't think of what his name is now. It's bad. But, yeah, we all keep in touch. Mike talks to him all the time.
Okay.
But he was like, man, I watched y'all draw. It's exciting to me. I watched,
How did that make you feel?
I don't know. I guess, I don't.
Clearly good if you had him draw your logo.
Oh, yeah. It's like, you don't know, when you do things, you don't know how you affect people's lives. You know what I'm saying? If he might have never been an artist if we wasn't on that porch drawing, Yep.
And that's what we, as adults, even older adults, we're somebody's role model. That's what we have to do. We have to realize that, guess what? Somebody's always watching. Mm-hmm. And you don't even have a clue. I think that's amazing. All right, I have today's guest, owner of TECHNICRAFT Vehicle Electronic Systems and TECHNICRAFT Home. I'm proud to say that. All right, that's a sis in the building. The phone number there is 251-210-6768. And that's in, Mobile, Alabama. Feel free, if you have any questions, feel free to email them at TECHNICRAFT. What is it? TECHNICRAFT at Hotmail?
Yes.
There you go. TECHNICRAFT at hotmail.com. Again, the phone number is 251-210-6768. You can feel free to ask for Mr. or Mrs. Ware. We're going to bring it back. See if that, bring it back. Everybody on first name basis, like, well, wait, who is that? I think it's amazing that you are giving back. And I did a Be Inspired, and I was talking about giving back to your community. Some people feel as though giving back is giving monetary gifts. Reaching back monetary. Okay, I'm giving back to my community. I'm giving you something tangible. When actually, if you give somebody something mentally, you give them more. And Mr. Ware shared that with his $50 a week. and he learned from it. He had what did you say, Amber? It was more like a apprenticeship. Mm-hmm. And also with the when he got his money stole, it was a learned lesson.
Yeah, lesson learned.
And you do have to look at things through that lens of say, okay, how much is it going to cost me to sue this person, and what's really happening, and what am I getting out of it, especially if they don't have anything. Right.
And he has nothing. He has nothing.
So you helped him pay his bills. Look at God.
I was paying him just to work. I'm like, listen, man. And it just, it was crazy. It's crazy. It was
I wonder how many people he's done that to.
A lot of people, because he has a bad name in the city.
And you was given another chance. You knew about this before you went?
No, I didn't know.
Okay.
I knew afterwards. They was like, "Oh, you let him do? Oh man, I would have told you." I'm like, oh. I'm like, wow. So his name is bad in the business.
Okay. So how do we prevent ourselves from being in that position? You know, because you have the whole. I don't like the cancel culture. That thing drives me nuts. It's like, just change the channel. But how do you prevent someone like us, the public, from stepping into that if it's not shared, so to speak? You don't have to worry about saying his name here. That's not what I'm asking.
Yeah, I guess you gotta look up their, what do you call that?
What, the Better Business Bureau?
You know how they have on the Facebook page, you know, the comments, you know. Mm-hmm. I guess, because Steph is always researching something before we get into it. She's like, well, they got bad reviews. We ain't messing with them, you know, whatever.
But sometimes people will be upset, and they may have a bad review from one person, or they set up separate accounts, because that, I've experienced that. Where, go ahead.
Well, if you want a Harley done, because I know you'll be ready soon, Mel. Just bring it on down here. I got you. Bring it on down
you
here.
got me.
And my cousin, as far as appliances, my cousin, I helped him start his business in Youngstown. It's called Larry's Appliance. Lawrence Hall from the Sharon line. He does exactly what TECHNICRAFT does here with appliances in Youngstown.
So look, now see, that's a give back. Let me show you what I know and help you start yours. That's all right. See, I could appreciate that.
He was losing his job at Amazon. Amazon closed or whatever. And I'm like, well, this is what you about to do. And he was like, Mark, he told me all the time, you saved my life.
That's a blessing.
All the time. He like, man, you saved my life. You know, he just, overnight, he was just like, he done did a lot. He's done a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah.
But
Youngstown is closer to Cleveland than Mobile.
Yeah, but he's right there in Youngstown.
How far does he travel?
He said right now he goes from Akron to.
Oh, he might as well go on to Cleveland. That ain't that far.
Yeah, he's about to add Cleveland. He does Akron to Farrell.
Okay. Look, that's Nick. Nick's in Texas, but she from Farrell.
And he's about to start out in Cleveland. I'm
Okay.
like, you gotta go ahead and do something in Cleveland. Because I've been trying to get somebody to start in Cleveland, somebody else in the family. And, you know, the younger generation, they ain't listening. Okay, you know.
It's like
You're missing out on good money.
You don't have to work for nobody. You make your own schedule. I just talked to my cousin John. He's like, get up and go to work. Oh, you make your own schedule. I'm like, I'm at work. When I come into my office, I'm at work.
Right now, you at work.
And in this office, with me and Stephanie, Miss Ware, it goes down. When we come to that office, we are at work. And when we leave out of this office, we back to husband and wife. But when we come to this office, we at work. We argue every day. She be looking at me like, we go at it. I'm like, you ain't do such and such. You ain't do such and such. So, and actually, she sits in this chair more than me. I'm usually on that side of the couch.
Okay.
She does all the.
How is that working with your spouse?
Hey, it's good. It's good. You know, like I said, I'd rather argue with her than argue with somebody else. You know, because it's our business, and we're both looking out for the best interest of our investment. Mm-hmm. You know, you got somebody else, they might just be trying to get over. You know what I'm saying? But we both looking at the same. We're both going the same direction. We want the same results.
Now, I have a question for you. Say there's another company in another state. Are they able to order from you Do you guys have things on hand? Okay.
Mhm.
All right, you heard him. He said, yes, the phone number there is at TECHNICRAFT is 251-210-6768, 251-210-6768. Or you can email them at technicraft@hotmail.com. All right, go ahead. What'd you say? What were you going to say,
And
Marcus?
I can also do like your Harley systems, whatever. You can send your bags to me, your bags to me. I can do the system and ship it back up here. It's play and play.
Oh,
And he ships, y'all, and he ships.
right.
Okay.
And the
I can
phone
do
number
whole
works.
system. I can do the whole system, and I can ship it back up to you. It's play and play.
Hey, Mr. Ware, did somebody call the phone and hang up earlier?
The phone?
Yeah, I think I called yesterday. Maybe I called last night or this morning. I needed to make sure that the phone number that was on the Facebook page was working.
Oh, I don't know. I'll answer that phone before 9.
Oh, okay. I said, okay, it's ringing.
Yeah.
We got to check. So people that are in the have their own business and in the entrepreneurship business, please make sure your phone number still work. All the sites that you have, if you change your number and a different, people forget that. Just remember, go put it there. Have a way that people can reach out to you because that will jack your business up.
And don't use your personal cell phone. Get a landline. Because that mug will be ringing off the hook. People call it anytime. They'll call you at 3 o'clock in the morning. Man, my fuse blew on my bike. And I'm like, man, you calling me for real right now? I'll switch everything to that cell. I answer that phone between 9 and 5. That 2-1 that's it.
And that's what you have to do. While I'm sitting there, I hope nobody is calling in. Hey, if you want in on this conversation, feel free to do so. The phone number here at Shop Talk with Mel is 619-902-2287. 619-902-2287. Or you could call if you have questions for Mr. Ware. Feel free to do so. You can text. I got you guys all set up. Get you all set up. So I feel you, Marcus. You could call that number, leave a message, and we'll get back to you. But then you do have those who are starting off and they're putting their personal cell phone number. That's not the move when you answer the phone and you like, hello? Hey, is this your, oh, wait a minute. Then you got to put your professional voice on. Or your person like, who am I talking to? Or do you feel like answering the phone every day and all day under your professional name? So that's what, that was a good tip.
Well, and I wanted to add, if you can't afford a landline or a secondary cell phone, you can get a Google Voice phone. Your phone will get blown up all the time, but at least when it's coming from the Google Voice, it's business.
Mm-hmm.
It's your professional
That's what I
voice.
have. Google Voice.
Yeah.
Google Voice. So, how do you do that?
It's an app. You download it on your phone, and it'll generate a phone number for you. And then all the calls will come, whoever you give that number to, the calls will come through there. Your text message will come through there. So it's a separate line, but it's more on your same phone.
Oh. No, that's
right.
it.
They have to announce who they are before it comes to you, because then you have the option of either accepting it or making them leave a voicemail.
Oh.
Yeah, because, especially if you're starting out as an entrepreneur, like a landline or a secondary cell phone might not be, financially feasible for some people.
Unless you're doing all right and blessed, and then you can write it off on your taxes. Go ahead.
Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get Steph. I think she would really, really like this. I want y'all to meet her and talk to her.
Okay. This weather, I'm telling you, it had people going nuts. The COVID being out or not being out, because now you see some states are removing the mask.
Again?
Yeah, well, the first time it was too early, Nick. You know that was too early.
It was entirely too early.
I think that this is more of like herd immunity. Like you taking off. And they're saying, I don't know the statistics right now, the current ones, I knew the ones last week. They're saying that a lot of people have gotten it. You got a few COVID virgins out there that didn't. But there's, it's like, okay, they've had it. You got the 2 vaccines. You have the booster. And then they want another booster. Goodbye. That's team too much. I'm like, why we got to keep getting these boosters? No, and no. I'm not interested. But with that being said, I see where there's possibly, now herd immunity because everybody done got it. So I think they're looking at it as like your common cold or flu. Right. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. That type of thing.
Amazon is paying people to get their vaccine. They're entering you into a pool. And I know in part of last year, they was giving away as much as for one person, $500,000 won that. One person.
See what I'm saying? I got a problem. I just don't know. I've never seen where the government was like, get the vaccine, we'll put you in the pot for $1 million. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm concerned.
It's weird.
That's what made me concerned. I was like,
They're pushing it so hard. But I did want to say, as far as the answering the phone as a business, I also want to throw out there, because I had this experience a lot. I'm not an entrepreneur, but I have like the Google Voice. A lot of people as a consumer, and this is good, especially when you're starting out, you want people to get the impression that your business is established, you're professional, it's a big company, you got 30 employees, even if it's just you.
Right! You see me!
People will assume that they're calling an automated system and that it's not inconveniencing nobody calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And you don't answer, leave a voicemail. They're thinking they're calling your desk in a building, not your bedroom, right? So
the basement of your mother house. That's why I say the trolls are.
Your mother's house, right? So I think I don't think it. I always try to give people the benefit of doubt. I don't think it's malicious or inconsiderate or whatever. People just are assuming that it's a business and that nobody will answer if it's not a good time, and you're not hindering. You can't hinder a machine, so answering machine. So
also, yeah. Marcus, where's she at? We'll catch her another time. We'll have her come on.
She said she's not together. She said.
Oh, I feel her.
I ain't together either. Shoot.
How
but I feel her.
It's got to be just right.
But I feel her. I feel her. Just like, okay, let's go to this next topic, which is actually that. How do you feel about people not calling before they come over and you're not together? The pop-up.
Oh, my goodness.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I don't get that.
We know why. Go ahead, Nick, because you're not a female. Go ahead, Nick.
My best friend used to do that to me all the time whenever he would come in town. All the time. And he got a kick out of it because back in the day, he knew, I would sleep until 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's when he would get, yeah. That was way back in the day. Look, way back. So he knew that. And he would come right around the time that he figured I'm asleep or like I'm up, but I'm not dressed or anything. I'm looking crazy. Always come around that time. He would always pop up on me, and I would just be like, okay. It took me a while to learn to be ready. Especially the one time I wasn't ready. I just had to threw something on when he came in. He said, come take a ride with me. Bruh, can I get in that? No, we'll be right back. I can't take a had me all in Pittsburgh and bars and everything. I was
stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. What's your thoughts on that, Amber?
It depends on the person.
Your in-laws. Your in-laws.
Oh, Lord. It's impersonal. It's impersonal. I mean, family is okay. Family's okay. My best friend or close friend, it's okay. But someone that I don't know that well, they might not even get invited inside my home. So it's one extreme. Either we cool and it don't matter, we family, or like it's like a professional, like acquaintance, or some random. And I'm like,
all right, let Let me ask you this real quick. And then, Marcus, we're going to let you go because I want to know a male's perspective. And you're married, so it's perfect. The wife is at home, not feeling good. The husband is not. Okay? The husband's family comes to pop up, drives out of town to come and surprise their son. Do you open the door? Remember, your husband's not home. Do you open the door or no? For your in-laws. Remember, you're not feeling good. And he's not home. What do you do?
Either pop-ups is a no-no.
No, but what? So you say no? Go ahead, Amber. What do you do in that case, in that scenario?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I let him in. It's family, and with your in-laws, you know, it's just, to me, in-laws is a whole mood. It's a mood, and you're just like, hi.
But if you don't feel good, I'm going to probably sound like a scumbag. I'm going to sound like a scumbag. But I'm going to tell you, if the pop-up and I happen to peek out the window, if it's my mother, then that's fine. But if I don't feel good and who you came to see is not there, I'm going to shoot him a text. Your parents are here. I'm not opening the door because you know why? Once you open the door, you already don't feel good. You're not together, okay? And some guys, they feel different. So you're not together. But now you got to entertain these people because they're out of town guests.
Oh,
you already don't feel well.
No, I'm not family.
And it's the pop-up.
You entertaining yourself. I'm going back upstairs. They know where everything is. You welcome to the refrigerator. Stay up on my face. No.
And just wait for him to come home.
Oh yeah.
But then you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get, oh, she's so rude. That's why we ain't feeling her.
No, you don't feel good. You said, I'm gonna go lay back down. I mean, they did pop up. And you can remind them. You did. If you had let me know, I would have told you.
Now this is how this went. They peeked out the window, the curtain, and saw who was in the driveway, and that's what ended up happening. So the family, the in-laws didn't even know that if anybody was there. Nobody just answered it. The only way that they knew is because their child, she texted the husband and let him know that they were in town. That means come from you wherever you at and entertain your people. I'm an entertainer though. See, I can't just like leave. I would feel bad. What's your thoughts on that, Marcus? TECHNICRAFT?
Well, as far as, hey, we move way out, so we gonna never get no power. We move way out.
That's the solution.
I actually live in Mobile. That's the close. I live in Daphne. I live like, I wish I could show you on the map, but it's an 8-mile bridge from Mobile to Daphne. If you look at the Alabama map at the bottom, it's a bay that comes in. We live on the other side of the bay.
Okay.
It's like, so I basically don't get no pop-ups. But we love to entertain. We try to get people out here. You know what I'm saying? We have my wife has a thing called couples night. Where, because, you know, with COVID, you can't really do too much, you know? Mm-hmm. So we'll have 2 or 3 couples come over, you know. The first time we did it was our anniversary. Actually, we renewed our vows. We had a minister come through. It was real nice, you know. And then it's more like,
wait, don't tell me, Steph, like, who is that? Is that Mariah? Who is that that used to keep having anniversaries every year?
Oh, no, you gotta have anniversaries every year.
I mean the whole renewal of vows. Oh, Jackie off the Basketball Wives.
Yeah, but she has a thing called we have couples night, and it's kind of like counseling. You know, people just talk and discuss. And she got this big bowl, and she picked these questions. You're supposed to pick. I will not pick a question. I'm not doing that because I'm not answering nothing because I ain't got no problems right now, and I might pick up something out of there. You want me to, and I'm not answering it, so no. Everybody else pick the stuff, and I just drink my Hennessy and smoke a cigar and enjoy the festivities. You know?
I heard that what you say. It sounds like a rabbit hole there. I ain't trying to go down. I heard that. All right, Marcus Ware, Mr. and Mrs. Ware, owners of TECHNICRAFT Vehicle Systems. Did I say it right? Did I get it right? Vehicle Electronic Systems and TECHNICRAFT Home. But we're going to get Steph on, and we're going to get Mr. and Mrs. Ware back on together and talk about how it is being in business with your spouse. The phone number to reach out and ask those questions, you heard him right there. He said he don't answer it after 5, so y'all better get on it. Is 251-210-6768, 251-210-6768, out of Mobile, Alabama, 36609. Email them at TECHNICRAFT at Hotmail. I was about to say hotel. Hotmail.com. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ware, for coming on, and congratulations for being the Black History Spotlight. Y'all reach out.
Congratulations.
Yeah, reach out, talk to him, and he already did a referral, his cousin in Youngstown, Ohio, for people in that area that are listening in, and it's called Larry's
Repair.
You know what? I like Larry. Larry's Repair. You ain't even got to be like, okay, remember how I used to look in the phone book and be what's their name?
You know Lawrence, don't you? You know Lawrence Hope, don't you?
Mm-mm. But I remember Larry's Repair because if you want something repaired, call Larry. Very simple.
It's a distinction. It's one, but it's we all together.
Okay, so TECHNICRAFT, call Mr. Ware and he'll lead you in the right direction. He got somebody in your area. How about that? And I'm really putting it out there and making y'all expand.
Oh, yeah.
All right. If you didn't catch that number or anything, you can go to Shop Talk with Mel, and I'll have all their information up there, as well as their logo. And I love, see, you gave back. You let the young man do the doggone logo, draw the pictures of you and Stephanie. That's all right. All right. Take it easy. And thank you again for coming on and having fun with us.
Thank you.
All right, he's a lot of fun. So I like to, especially when I have somebody come on and advertise, I think it's important. You can run the ads across the bottom, but when they actually come on, you get to know who they are. Do I want to even patronize this individual? Oh, the personality is great. And let's be real, it can be, and I'm not saying his product, but I have found myself patronizing people just off of personality. Off of personality. It's like, oh, they're cool. Okay, listen, we real tight, but just buy some candy, some now and laters, and I'll patronize you because I don't want your shirt. Yeah.
But you know what? That's the right attitude. That's the attitude we as a community and the people need to have, because that's what other communities do. They support each other even when the service is subpar, even though they on some BS. They stick to each other.
Mm-hmm. But I'm still telling you, I ain't buying no $50 hoodie when I can go to the mall and get it for $25 or $30. I'm still not doing it.
Make a donation.
I'll make a donation. Ass socks. How about that? Ass socks. I got you.
Right.
But personality is everything. Customer service is everything. I've known Marcus probably like over 40 years. That's a shame. Look. Having a great time in church, and I don't care what nobody say. Your church family, they go all the way. Your church, but we still friends. The church family is like a sibling, and growing up together, boom, 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 all the way. That bond, the church bond is never broken. You don't see each other 10, 20 years, and then you go right back. But I remember we used to sneak to the store after Bible study and had to be up in the sanctuary, on time. Fun. But yes, he kicked some great knowledge, and I appreciate that. He gave us some gems. And even when we're so quick, and when I say we as a community are so quick on some get back. Oh, you did this to me, watch my get back. Where he actually took it, learned from it, and his get back was success. So,
is that what Beyonce says?
It do she? Because I don't even be listening to B. Is that what she said?
Yeah, like my I forgot, but it's something along those lines.
It's something like that.
Something along those lines, like let my paycheck be my comeback or something like that.
Yeah, they do have those sayings too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Excuse me. It's real. It's real because when you constantly look at vengeance, your mind is not open. It's like tunnel vision. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get back instead of I'll get evening. Or what's that one saying? Some work hard to your haters ask you for a job or something like that. I said it all wrong, but that's pretty much what it means. Oh, till they ask you if you're hiring.
Right.
So that would be the same thing. You know, hey, help everybody. People are where they are. I mean, big time. They are where they are, and they're where they are for a reason, but you can't harp on the negative. Turn that negative into a positive and everything and just be fine.
Right.
Now, let's get into this real quick. We got to talk about the Super Bowl real quick. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't, but I did catch the halftime show on YouTube later.
Now, I was seeing how everybody was watching the Super Bowl, this, that. So I got a little confused. And I got confused because, remember, I thought we was boycotting it for the injustices. See, y'all forgot already. See, black people know we will forgive something. And we be like, oh, wait a minute. Whatever. Such a forgiving people that we forgot what we was doing yesterday and the day before. Anyway, I look back. I had the Cat Williams meme where he looking around. He like, and I said, did we unmute R. Kelly? Like, because it was forgotten about. And after time, ease on back into the things that we felt were an injustice, but we dropped the ball. Stop doing it. Like, okay, a few people fell off, so now it's like, what is it all for? Versus where other nationalities, other groups, communities stick to it until something's actually done. Now, I did see the halftime show because my boo was on it. Yeah, that would be Snoop. And yeah, y'all probably shocked, but honey, I like me some Snoop from day one, okay? And I want to say, what was some news outlet, and I got the picture right in my head. New York, something is red up top. Anyway, they had the nerve. This was the news that they shared. Snoop Dogg was smoking weed, and I'm paraphrasing, before the halftime show. And I'm like, and yes. And here's what's really interesting. What's interesting to me is it's legal in LA.
And I was getting ready to say that. And it's also legal in California now, so what's your point?
And it's been...
And I think that's exactly. I think it's a distraction. It's literally no news because they're distracting you from the real news and what actually matters, because that's like saying the sun is hot. So... like, it's a distraction. That sounds like a distraction.
It does to me as well. It does to me.
Nobody was surprised by that, though. I even seen a couple of our Caucasian brothers and sisters that commented like, duh, that's what he does. What's the problem? Before
it was legal.
Why were you stalking him? Things like that. And I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. And somebody did. It's legal, so...
What are we talking about? Just like what Amber said. Like, okay, that's like saying the sun is hot. We're aware. Exactly. We know that. I mean, that's not news. It's not news. And it's like, why are we doing this? And I'm with Amber. What's the real news? What's the real news?
The Epstein trial and Prince Andrew.
That's it. You see, they try to push that up under the rug.
They swept that all the way under the rug. I want to know who's in the log to his island and who's his friends.
Right.
And then all these other pedophiles
that we need to know about, but we want to keep that quiet. And why?
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's different. It's different. All of it's different. And it's like, Now let's talk about this. This is alleged, so I'm going to say this first. Alleged. This is alleged. That's the third time. So I guess Wendy Williams is supposedly going through something right now. Alleged. And her ex-husband is handling her affairs.
Oh, Jesus.
What? Huh?
Fix it, Lord.
So with that being said, you guys can look into it. Would you allow an ex-husband to handle your affairs? Now understand, he's been rocking with her the whole time.
You go first.
Go ahead, Nick.
How, Sway? Like,
Air quotes. Look at me like air quotes. Usually you'll be up there.
like, okay, didn't he leave her for another a younger woman and he got pregnant? Aren't they spending her money together? Why is he even in the equation? Ex-husband handling my affairs,
Well, word to the curb is that she's hiding out with her ex-husband.
Why is she hiding out? Who's
Well-
she hiding from?
Well, no, she took like a sabbatical, mental break, all that other stuff that was going on. Well,
He's the reason for her mental break.
do you think so?
It's her. It is okay. So first of all, just to clarify, allegedly, she knew about the affairs, multiple, plural.
Uh-huh.
And she was okay with him having, or she accepted it. We don't know if she was okay with it, but she accepted it. And I feel like that had a lot to do with low self-esteem, all that stuff that I think is still not even resolved within her, because that's why she's still entertaining him. Now her, covering her, what nonsense. Anyways, it was when he got her pregnant, it became a problem. So they have that kind of quasi-open marriage thing going on for a long time. So it makes sense to me that she would still reach out to him on top of, it seems like, her unresolved self-esteem issues. So I'm not surprised, but it's still incredibly problematic. He's a user and a bum. This is why you don't date or marry down. I feel bad for her. She's a very toxic person. She's very nasty and mean-spirited to other people, but I still feel bad for her because it's just like,
Do you think she really is, or, since that's her brand and how she came out when she was on radio, that maybe that's a role? And so you have that role of, that's what she did. She spilled the tea on everybody, and I have to look strong, but I'm really not that strong.
A lot of women do that, men too, people in general, where their outward facade is very tough and hard, but then when you start looking, for example, Megan Thee Stallion, her situation, she's a bad bee and she's sexy and she has all these men. That's what her music is about, but her real life, you sounding kind of pick-me-ish. 100, you keep it in 100, like, no, boo-boo, like, where's all this confidence coming? And this is the nonsense you're entertaining. These are the caliber of men you're choosing to allow access to you and your energy and in your body. Okay, right? So it's not just Wendy Williams doing it. Lots and lots of people do that. But I feel like some of the things that I remember distinctly that she had controversy around, it was like unnecessary. You can spill the tea and not be just, just nasty,
Okay.
But that is a part of her brand, and gossiping about other people. But yeah, and I feel like a lot of people who have low self-esteem or who aren't comfortable or who are not, who can't take ownership of their flaws or their shortcomings and their insecurities, they tend to do that. They tend to be really harsh and mean to other people, like unwarranted, So it's actually not even surprising that she's like that. She's nasty like that when you see how low her self-esteem is.
Okay. I can see where you're coming from. I looked at it as, she's the mother of Kevin's, the mother of Kevin's son. So it's like, okay, do you really care? Or is this a a ploy to say, okay, I need to be back with my ex and come help me because I need you, kind of like what you said, Amber, like, it's toxic, you know what I mean? Or is it genuine? This is my genuine friend and he's not going to watch me fail, because I know that there's a lot of people who co-parent and they can move on with their lives, but they're still not going to allow their child's parent to just sink. Or, here we go, look, my thoughts, she's not on her show, so her money is running dry, which in turns mean his money is running dry.
Right. I think latter, because like Nick said, he's the source of a lot of her issues. So, no, I think it's the B.
Okay.
Answer B.
Answer B. All right, Adele. The Adele. She canceled her shows, several of them. Well, word to the curb. Here we are, word to the curb. Nick usually do that part. She do the gossiping part. Word to the curb is that she was having a fallout with her boyfriend. So she canceled the shows. This is alleged, because her and her boyfriend are going through something. How many females stop what they're doing because of a fallout from their significant other? Even not even on the level of celebrityism, if that's a word. I want my bell at. But or
Too
is
many
it
of us women do it, and
right, or work, like basic work, like, oh, I can't go to work behind a man? What's going on? Any suggestions?
listen, they not letting the fallout stop them from getting their pockets and running that money through their pockets, getting their pockets back. They not gonna let you stop. They gonna keep going to work. They gonna keep making money. They gonna keep doing what they gotta do. So therefore, ladies, we need to get it together. Yes, I have been there sometimes, in past relationships where I was just so sick and I can't go to work. I can't function. I can't do this. I listen.
Why was that? Elaborate. Why was that? Help me to understand.
Child, because I thought I was in love. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, it ain't got nothing to do with love. I had to get up out of that. I don't know if it was a self-esteem issue, whatever. But now I'm like, to H-E double hockey sticks with you. I'm still making my money. I'm still doing what I got to do.
So what would be your suggestion to, because that was when you were younger, what would be your suggestion to the younger people that feel like, and I'm using air quotes, they were sick because they were in love, or because they were in love they couldn't go to work or function?
Man, you don't tighten them bra straps up, put your big girl panties on, and take your behind out there and make your money. Like I said, he ain't stopping his money flow for you, and he's spending it on the next one. You better do what it do.
Okay, go ahead, Amber.
So I can relate to Nick, because I've definitely been in love sick, not able to go to work, etc. And I would give the exact same advice. I feel like it's something that, it's a life lesson. And when you know better, you do better. And it's a part of maturing. And, no, boo-boo. It's just no. And also don't feel ashamed. Because it is, I think it's very, and including men, including young men, these dudes get their nose wide open. You know what I'm saying? Then be acting a fool and got
All right.
It's just, I think it's a part of youthfulness. Now, Adele ain't that young. And so
And she losing a lot of money behind this.
right. Okay, because I was going to get into it. I was going to get into it. Because Adele's one of them. Now, allegedly, she's always like, some chocolate or whatever. But she married a white man. And she procreated with a white man. They got divorced, allegedly, because she cheated. And that's why she was paying him alimony. Now she's back with another piece of chocolate, right? And so, and then, there was a little controversy when she did the Bantu knots when she was in Jamaica.
Right.
And then the man's was, big up on her with her struggle knots. And so
not the struggle knots.
It was struggle knots. You the picture. So I'm just like, you get what you got. You got the same one. Congratulations. Good for you. You know, and apparently Adele is the type of woman to put hands and feet on a man. Because apparently she charges press against her because one of her boyfriends was cheating on her, whatever. And she let him out. You know, she seems like she likes that all that drama and conflict and emotional turmoil and all that nonsense. So
Alleged.
I'm so sorry for her.
You hear me? I'm like alleged.
I plead the fifth on that one. I plead the fifth. My ex-husband to say the same. He pleads the fifth. Cause things still get headaches.
Right.
A mess.
But yeah, so she seems like that, and to be losing her money over it, and not just her money, her brand and her reputation is
right.
professional. Her losing fans put money to come see her. Like, yeah, girl, if you don't get up there, go up and cry on stage. Tell the audience, don't even sing, tell the audience what's going on, but you need to do something. These people pay money to see you.
You said tell the people what's going on. See, everybody is so open. But you know what? Her songs are, it seems like she's the type that goes through heartache like Mary J.
Okay, because other people have mentioned this.
Okay.
You know, some people were saying, oh, her next album's about to be fire.
That bless me. Isn't that terrible?
It's terrible. But you know, yeah, like you said, but you know what? Like Mary J. Blige, it's elective. You choosing to do this at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Lessons. Also, musically, she has a beautiful voice, but it's, you know, she only has one style of singing. You know, she's like a one-trick pony. She doesn't have a lot of vocal versatility. And that's okay. But as far as repeatedly experiencing heartbreak, it's like, boo-boo, you're not learning.
It could very well be. That's a thought. I'm sorry. I guess I have never been in love because I am, I'm so serious because I am not about to miss my coin for some dude. I look at it, I'm like, okay, well, that didn't work and that's not going to work. And I don't argue. And if you want to argue, we weren't the two.
Right.
So see you later. And don't be arguing with me 30 minutes before work. I am this way every time. If it's showtime, I don't want to hear none of your problems. You could be my best friend. Do not share none of your issues, your problems, none of that because I don't want it. Right. And the people that truly know me, they already know. Don't talk to me before. I have to have my head in the right space. Mm-hmm. And it is not my profession's fault. It's not my profession, my professional background. I got a few professions. It's not their fault. It's not my employer's fault. It's not my employee's fault. If I'm having an issue at the house, I don't need to bring that to you. And I shouldn't. And if somebody is paying and I got a issue, I'm not going to cancel my show because this is how I stay afloat. And it's like, so I'll say to you, I'll admit, look at me tearing this. I guess I've never been in love because I'm out. Deuces, I got somewhere to be.
I also want to say, as far as this is my issue with Mary J. Blige, is she's sitting here selling toxicity and dysfunction and emotional abuse to black women, calling it love. And she's been doing it for decades. So I can't even, girl, boo boo, you a mess. Your shit's a mess. We're not going to sit here and make it seem like that's this, beautiful traumatic thing that, we're not going to uplift that.
Okay.
And her whole career is uplifting toxicity and emotional abuse.
Now, some people use their voice for their own personal healing, i.e. Phyllis Hyman. I love Phyllis Hyman.
Oh, my goodness.
Her songs were amazing, but she was dealing with so much hurt, and she was sharing it, just as you said, Amber. Now, I can't rock with Phyllis every day, because it'll have me sleep. That's how I deal with Listen to other folks' problems and depression. You be sitting there listening. That's why I could never be a counselor. I'll be on the couch or a psychiatrist. I'll be sitting there, my people be on the couch. I had that notepad, sleep, okay? Sleep, so my body just automatically turns it off after so long. Because you can have an issue, let's be clear. But every day, and listen to my but every day, that conjunction, okay? And we know the word but, it eliminated everything ahead of time. So now I'm getting ready to give you the meat. It's up to you to change that environment. Some people can't because they're dealing with things, but if this person is causing you an issue, why do you keep that person connected to you? I really want to know. And also, and I believe mental illness is real, 110%. But we're getting ready to go here. Like me if you will, and dislike me if you want to. But let me speak this. Once things become normalized, so follow me on this. Once things become normalized, it no longer exists. And watch me. So mental illness. If everyone is diagnosed with mental illness, is that still a problem? Or is that our normal? So if that becomes our norm, now it doesn't exist because everybody has mental illness. And it's like, well, let me not say exist. It's just like, this is our norm. So now outside of the norm are the people who don't have mental illness issues. Are they, what do they call them? The people in the fantasy land. Is that going to be an issue? When they say, I can't even think right now. Lord help me. But it's, when you're over the top and it's like, okay, they can't. And then people start looking at you. Watch this, because I know you guys heard it. They start looking at you like, she can't be happy every day. That's inaccurate. Because that may be who that person is. But you want us to look at you as having a mental illness issue because we're happy every day. And you're depressed behind that. And you're getting upset because somebody's smiling. That's an issue. But when everybody has a mental, because that's where it's going. Think about it. You see it every day in the news. Mental health. Do I believe it exists? 110% I do. But we're watering it down. And everybody saying that, oh, that's mental illness. Is getting ready to be the norm. Like high blood pressure. You see what happened with the high blood pressure? Let me school you real quick on the lovely people that don't know. High blood pressure, it used to be 130, the top number, the systolic number, and the diastolic was 90. That was considered high blood pressure. Well, guess what, lovely people? It is now the norm. And they're blaming it on the economy. So, again, I got to ask. Once, things are said so much, and we're just pinning people with this is now our norm. So we got to be 110%. You have those out there that fake, especially if they going down and they pretend they've been doing that for years. And then, they can't stand trial or whatever it is. But once you start tagging everybody with that, instead of inability to cope, and let me give you some skills to cope, we automatically go to mental health and mental illness. So, come on. We got to do what we have to do. Now, moving on, and I'm not saying Monique has mental illness. I'm really not. However, Tyler Perry and Monique was supposed to sit down and have a heart-to-heart. Okay? Comedian Monique. Yeah, we know her with one word now because she ain't playing. What was it? It's been 10 years since they fell out. Remember she talked about Oprah and Lee Daniels. So we're looking at about 10 years now. Well, we know Monique, my girl, is consistent. That's what I can say. They were supposed to sit down. Tyler listen to me. Tyler Perry said, okay, we could sit down and have a heart-to-heart, but you have to apologize to me and Oprah in order for them to sit down and have a conversation. Now, I see.
For what?
Was you asleep? You must have been asleep. She sleep. She worked midnight, y'all. I told y'all, black folk will be like, huh? Well, we forgot all about this. No. Excuse me. Monique had an issue with Lee Daniels, and she talked about it, and Tyler and Oprah, and she talked about it in her stand-up, and they were upset about it. Here are adults, and Tyler alleged, this is all alleged, people, said, if you apologize to me and Oprah, we can have this sit down. And he doesn't want her husband there. Okay.
He's her manager. He's
still her manager, yeah. But without him. So they feel as though that he's the issue. But this is my issue. It's smaller than that. You're a grown man. You can't have a adult conversation with someone without them apologizing to you. We can agree to disagree. And then watch this. And not just apologize to me, apologize to someone else. How old are we? She needs to get her own apology. If Oprah, you got to apologize to Oprah too. That's like me saying, in order to talk to me, you have to apologize to me. You did me wrong. Okay, and you did Nick wrong. Okay? And I say, if you apologize to me and Nick, but me and Nick are not having to sit down. So guess what? Nick got to reach out for her own apology. I'm going to say, you have to apologize to me, but I'm really not going to say that because I believe it is okay to be you. And we can agree to disagree. That doesn't mean that I don't like you. I'm not that person. I can still that's who you are. Right. We could communicate or not. But just because you don't agree with me does not mean that I dislike you. Just because you have your own opinion does not mean I dislike you. I might need you. R. Kelly might have need that person. He had enablers around him. But if he had somebody be like, oh, no, I'm not doing this. That's the person you need.
Exactly.
So I looked at this because these are very extremely wealthy people. And I think when you get in different, especially in business and stuff, I think interpersonal skills are more important than like social rules. So Tyler Perry and Oprah are very close. I know they've done a lot of work together. Oprah has her own network and everything. And I know a big part of when Monique was saying was these are like, she said they're like coons, if I'm not mistaken. And they were lowballing her. But the flip side their counter argument was that they gave an offer and then her manager husband accepted it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you played yourself, right? Basically. That's what I remember of the issue. Okay. As far as Tyler roping Oprah into it, she was a part of it originally. And then he probably wants to keep that connection between him and Oprah nice and solid and strong because Oprah is over him. You know what I'm saying? Like, makes more money than him, has more wealth, has more influence, has more power than Tyler Perry does. So he might not want to seem like he's doing something that Oprah wouldn't approve of. Is this just giving me, like, best friends, Mean Girls vibes? That's what it is. It sounds very interpersonal.
Okay, let me say this. Okay, on here we got Amber, we got Nick, and myself. One of you guys fall out with somebody. I don't have a problem with that person. Do you expect me to fall out with them because you fell out with them?
Oprah do got a problem with her. Though.
I ain't talking about Oprah. But I'm saying this.
I feel like I'm thinking about when I was in high school, when I was in college. If we're best friends and I have an issue, there's a fallout. If somebody wrongs me, and I tell you, best friend, about it, I would expect you not to mess with that person because you know that they did me wrong. Right. But like I said, in this situation, Monique was throwing Oprah under the bus too, right along with Tyler Perry. So she was a part of it. But yeah, it sounds like just like a lot of, it's like a interpersonal.
It sounds like immaturity. Because here's the thing. If someone has done you wrong, like, okay, my sister. I don't expect my sister to not be friends with someone that I am no longer communicating with. That's your relationship with that individual. Now, I'm a firm believer of, I hope you pay attention because this is what they're capable of. But I don't know if she's getting something out of their relationship. So, and I don't expect her to not talk to people that I don't deal with. She wouldn't have no friends. I'm like, it's like, and I've always been that way. And there was one person that I wasn't even communicating with that I was like, no, you get that vibe at the beginning. And it was like, no. And this person kept trying to reach out to me. I'll speak. But no, you can't come into my space. And I remember my sister, and I know she's listening. If she's not, we going to fall out. Look, because you're not listening to me on the air. But, excuse me. She knows the person. And the person kept trying to reach out. And she didn't understand why I didn't like this individual. I said, I just don't like this person. I've been that way even with, I'm not feeling the vibe. You be friends, you like who you like. I don't expect her not to like someone because of me. My mother even knows if it's somebody that I don't like, I'm like, she ought to know me by now. But I tell her, I have to actually say, I just don't like them. And then what happens later on down the line is something foul that happens. And then they say, oh, you were right. I mean, it had gotten so bad that she told on me. Like, she won't do that. She won't even acknowledge the person. I'm serious about protecting my energy. I don't even get it mixed up. Don't invite me anywhere. Don't do any of that because I'm not feeling that energy. I'm big on it. But I don't feel like if I dislike somebody that you have to dislike the person.
There's a difference between you just not, like you said, just you don't really like them, you don't like their vibe, and then someone like, and I think it depends on the severity of the offense too. If it was some kind of just shitty, it's like whatever. But if it was something like really horrible, if it was like, something serious, like something really terrible, horrible thing that was done to you, and they're like, oh, well, we're still cool, and I'm still friends with them, I'll look at them differently, for sure.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. But now if somebody doesn't like your sibling, that's a little different, but they might be cool with you and there's some way that you guys have a connection. Because if it's business and you're looking at that, so talking about those three, it's all business. Well, she doesn't want to apologize. You're requiring her to apologize to you and your friend. What if she just wanted to apologize to you? And no, me and my friend, get out of here. Because here's the thing. If my connection is with you or the issue is with us, why is this extra person here? I believe issues can be resolved amongst the people that are actually directly involved alone. Because when you have a crowd, that's when everybody want to puff up, and responses are responses. And it's like, okay, you got what you wanted. And now I'm embarrassed because I'm with this person. So you really can't get in. Not okay.
I also wanted to add, I think it's okay because Oprah is a part of it. I think it's weird it's not weird. It makes sense if they feel like, if Oprah or just Tyler Perry feels like her husband is the root of the issue and that's why he doesn't want him there, that's valid.
I think so.
Okay, personally, I don't like forced apologies because I truly believe that when someone is contrite and the spirit of contrition moves over someone, they will apologize on their own or through an action to show that, I feel bad. I'm wrong. I knew I was wrong. And what I'm saying? I want to make it right, whatever. But when you're forcing someone to apologize, it's insincere. And it's almost
like a parent. It's like cousins. Or siblings, like both you guys get in the house, now apologize. And they're still upset. It's like somebody is making you do it. So I feel you on that one. That's not okay.
It's meaningless. I would rather have someone not apologize and then 2-3 years later give me a heartfelt, genuine apology. Because a lot of times, right after something happens, people be indignant. Like, yeah, I did it.
But girl, don't get me started.
You gotta let people go through their emotions at their own pace. So trying to force an apology, that to me is it's. And then, as the person who is wronged, why would you want a fake apology? That's like you want your ego soothed. You know what I'm saying? You just want to hear the words.
That's
It don't
what it
matter
sounds
that
like.
it's not sincere.
And you're right. It's not sincere. And it's like, what, you want to have power over someone?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that you are able to work with someone and you guys disagree, even though if you want an apology, are you able to still work with that person when you know they've wronged you? We're talking about the...
I mean, I feel like, and I feel like these people in this industry, entertainment industry, they be so emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like to me it was about money, which is straightforward. It's math. It's negative, positive. Like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? You could have renegotiated your deal. It could have been resolved if it was just money. It was just strictly a money issue. I feel like it could be resolved. It seems like emotions and egos and stuff. 'Cause I know Monique talked about, you know, black people sticking together and all that type of stuff too. That was a part of the issue. And
yeah, if we sticking together, but if one person is sticking and the other person and it's Velcro, come on.
Well, and I just feel like, you know, people criticize Oprah a lot, and she is a problematic. She does have problems, but she's a true trailblazer, and she has a whole network, not a TV show, not a channel. She has a whole network, and she has all kinds of black programming. You know what I'm saying?
He has a lot of shows on her network.
On her network. So him wanting to keep Oprah in the fold because she was a part of their initial shots fired makes sense. Because like I said, he don't make it, you know, Oprah is over him. So I can understand if he don't want to step on Oprah's toes or compromise his relationship with Oprah.
Well, wouldn't that be a brown noser?
I mean, I think that's just a part of moving. You have to move carefully sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it seems very
childish
and very emotional. It's
sounds
not just the money.
It sounds childish.
He felt the need to include Oprah. I also feel like Tyler Perry's kind of effeminate. You know what I'm saying? And he seems like the type of man to be emotional. So I'm not surprised.
Interesting you should say that, because here's my thought on him. If I was a counselor and he was on the couch and I got my notepad, thinking back, I said to ask for an apology and he had to have a co-signer with him.
Yeah.
It took me back. I don't even know the man's childhood, but it made me think that maybe he was picked on as a child and he always wanted like an apology or somebody to defend him. That's the reason he did it that way. Just my thoughts. Like I said, I don't know him. I don't know his childhood or anything. But when you have that person, and I'm just going to paraphrase, when you have that person who was air quotes, a sucker back in the day, you know what I mean? And got, you know, and I'm just giving you a picture. This is from an after school special. Everybody, you know, he in the middle of the circle and everybody around him is pushing him. You know, this is an after school special. Amber, do you know about the after school specials?
I'm trying to hang on. I'm trying to hold on to it. Go on.
Okay. I'm like, let me ask her. So when you seen it, you know, when you had the after school, you'd be like, oh, they're being bullied. So that's what bully looked like back then on the after school specials. Mm-hmm. And then you finally get loose and you run home. That's what I saw in my mind when this allegedly came out. You know, I saw it on another media outlet where he asked her, like, we could sit down because it was him. He was taking control. Yeah, I'll meet with you if you apologize to me and Oprah. So now he's able to defend that person.
Oprah.
Yeah. That's just the way that I'm looking at it. Like, okay, he must have been a bully and he wanted somebody to defend him. Now you got, boom, we're together. Like the one viewer said, gang, gang. Shout out to you, Claudia.
I mean, that could be it. He definitely, I feel like he talked about, he's had pretty traumatic childhood from what I recall him sharing. So that's very possible. And you know, he might be the kind of person who really goes hard for his friends or whatever. So that could be the case too. I don't know. But yeah, it's giving very interpersonal very emotional, low-key childish, not so much about the money.
Okay, we're going to go to a comment, another one. Brenda says that the trust level will be gone. I don't have to defend you for you to trust me. I'm talking about my grown situation. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you guys were all together and you had an issue with somebody, or I had an issue with someone, I don't expect you not to talk to them because you have a relationship with them. Keep your relationship. Your relationship is there. Now, if it's up to you, it's up to you if you want to sever it or just watch. But that person that I might not deal with might have something that you could benefit from. So if that was the case, if we all jumped on the bandwagon of you don't like them, I don't like them, boom, 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 that's not adult-like. And then so everybody broke, or you don't succeed, or you do that and be like, okay, I can't move forward in this industry because of blah, 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 blah. That's not okay. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I love y'all to pieces, but I ain't going to carry you. I want you to be great on your own. And that person may benefit you. So that's what I thought. Go ahead, Nick.
Like that. They expect you, when they fall out with somebody, they expect you not to talk to them. But they still will.
And then they be the ones wrong. But go ahead.
They'll still communicate with the people that you don't mess with.
Okay, how about this? Let's take it to an abusive relationship. How many times, and this is sensitive, especially when it's your homegirl going through something, and you be like, he did her wrong, he hit her, blah, 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 blah. We're not talking to each other. And then what happens? You look up, now y'all not talking, because that was your boy at the time, and she back with him. So, did we, they want you to jump on the bandwagon. It's like, we forgave him. Why did you even pull me into it? That's why there has been a lot of brothers that went out to defend their sisters. Who was that? Was that the baby situation? And the brother get all beat up, but we have people who the brother get killed interfering in a relationship, and then boom, the sister back with him, and you killed my brother. Like sometimes when it's an adult situation, I let it be an adult situation. I might not talk to the person as much as I did before. It might be a high bye because I know and like you said, Amber, it could vary, it depends on the extent of the situation. Was somebody actually harmed? If somebody was harmed, that we're not doing this. But you have people who forgive people who, for things that I would be like, never. But who am I to say what they can deal with? But I know what I can't deal with.
And actually, someone on YouTube made a video about it. And this is for women. When your girlfriend's talking about her man and he done cheated on her, did her wrong, and you putting on the ski mask, like, okay, let's go. Let's get it. And then, next month they back together. And the lesson in that is just, as a friend, your friend needs to vent. You don't need to intercede. You don't need to do nothing for them. They just need somebody to talk to because they grown and it's their relationship. They're going to do whatever they feel is best. And their feelings likely are going to change in a few months. So just listen to your friend and be a supportive friend. Don't become invested in their relationship. So that's the lesson in that. And then when you were talking about the bullying and stuff, it's like, so is Tyler Perry seeing himself as the leader or the one with power, and he's trying to protect Oprah?
That's what it sounds like.
Or is it like you said, he's more brown-nosing and he wants to make sure he doesn't burn his own bridges with Oprah? And I would think it's more like brown-nosing because, like I said, Oprah is the one with more power. And also, you're like, well, I'm cool with them, so I still want to talk to them, and it's not my business if you're not cool with them. Is Oprah cool with Monique? Because I feel like a part of the issue is also, and that's why he threw her name in there, is Oprah don't mess with Monique.
Well, you saw it was a few, because remember when Monique went on The View and Whoopi was telling her she would have schooled her on how to do the issue. It was all about promotion. Promoting a movie. That's what it was all about. And and Whoopi said that, I would have, yeah, you want to do that. I would have schooled you on how to handle that situation. And then when Whoopi got suspended off The View, which I still feel some type of way about, Monique made a comment, alleged. I don't know, because, they got these, they can make fake comments and all that other stuff. So I'm just going to cover myself. Where she talked about that, and that clip played, and she said, maybe I should have schooled you, alleged, to Whoopi. Now, do you think that Whoopi should leave The View?
Because she got suspended. Well, she already went on her apology tour.
She did everything, and they still suspended her.
And I feel like, to me, this is like an example of how some communities, groups are very well protected, and that's because they will flex. They will flex their power and their control over a situation. Like, oh, you wanna talk, right? Just like Nick Cannon. Okay, he had to do his little hobo apology tour too. And it's like, when you're not in a position of power, that's how you gotta tap dance. That's reality. And we're not, unfortunately, as a community, we're really not encouraging each other and our youth to get into positions of power. Because when you're in the position of power, you can make other people tap dance, and that's reality. And that's why I said, okay, that sounds like some brown nose, and that sounds like Tyler Perry's just trying to skate on thin ice or whatever. Because Oprah's the one with power, and Oprah might be more in her feelings than Tyler Perry. At least he's open to the sit down.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? We don't really know, but that's what that sounds like. If maybe she could start her own version of The View on own network. I don't know. I would watch it. I don't know if she should leave though, because I feel like Whoopi Goldberg has said some problematic things in the past, and it's supposed to be, the whole show is about people sharing their
view, right?
Yeah, so,
and wasn't she married? She was married to a Jewish guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Her last name is Jewish. All her husbands are white. All her ex-husbands is white, and he's still a nigga. So
let us remind you.
Right. That sounded like reality check. You know? And and like I said, I understood why people were offended, but I also didn't see why they were so offended, because it wasn't completely inaccurate what she said.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's just part of, you're not in a position of power.
And right, that's but you're supposed to be running the show.
Well, not Whoopi, but Nick Cannon was making it seem like he was all this, that, and the other.
Surprise. Oh, yeah, they got rid of him. But guess what? You see what he did? He's so smart, he went on and continued. And didn't just go sit down. But I will, they're like, different outlets are sharing, Whoopi, come on, we'll do blah, 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 blah. We'll do, we'll help you. We'll do whatever. You were disrespected. Now, here's the thing, though, we have to ask $1 million question. My mom always said, always ask why. So, why is she on that show? That's what people need to understand. If she is there to make money, don't leave. Because are you going to pay me this amount of money? I know what my objective is. You know what I mean? This is what I plan on doing. This is my goal. I know what my goal is. And it's to do this. So people do certain things for their own personal gain. And if I'm going to get hired, honestly, if I'm going to be if I go for a job, my goal is to make money. And if this is where I'm making money, you got to suspend me. Okay. Disrespect. Some people feel like, oh, she was disrespected. But like I know, you could get disrespected and have no money. And it's the way that other people view it as disrespect. You might not call it disrespect. It's like, okay, well, I've said some other things, so this is my turn. Everybody at the table had a suspension. Okay, this is it. But my ultimate goal is to make money. So why would I stop my ultimate goal or to make a certain amount of money because of what y'all think? So you got to remember, what's your ultimate goal? Is your goal to be respected? Or did you apply to get respect? Did you apply to get more notoriety? Did you apply to get funds, a certain amount of funds? So only the person knows, and they'll put up with what they want to put up with until they can put up no longer. But it's us who project our feelings onto other people. And no, we're not going to give you what they gave you. We cheer for you 1 minute, i.e. the Super Bowl. 2 years later, they have a slamming halftime, and then we forgot we was boycotting the NFL. You know,
like a lot of momentum when Jay-Z got involved, and it was just like, it's over now. I was just like,
right, and it's not.
Oh my goodness! And I know this is not on subject. We can talk about it next one, but Jay-Z, Jay-Z and Meek Mills.
Next week we'll cover that.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Because like next week we will cover that. I did send out to you both this one young man in the LGBTQ community, and I don't want to leave our people out. We love everybody. Okay. It was a young man that had an issue with, and like I said, we don't know how this went in. If it was actually Umar talking with how everybody can do these clips. But I do see on this particular TikTok, this young man who talked about black men. So this is what we really want to talk about. And I'm getting ready to play it now. I will let you guys know there is some vulgarity. So,
yes, it is.
So know what's going on. If you have little children, please take them out of the room. But I want you guys to hear this. Let me see. Hold on. Got to get it set up. Here's the clip from TikTok, and I want to know your thoughts.
What do y'all stand for? What are your goals and objectives?
You know what? It seems pretty bold to ask something like that, seeing as how the only thing on most straight black men's resume is audacity. Y'all are literally the least qualified out of anybody in this country to lead somebody, but y'all always want to be in the front. But you know what? It's a special place in hell for a bitch like you that causes division amongst the entire community of people. Out of every subsection of the black community, y'all are the least educated and the most incarcerated. Please tell me what qualifies you besides the dick between your legs to lead somebody into anything. Y'all always want people to breathe life into y'all, but at this point, it's just pure necromancy because we have no more life to give. Y'all suck the life out of every fucking thing. I mean, let's call the thing a thing. Y'all want to be white men so fucking bad. Y'all see white men at the heads of their household, and y'all can't even get a household to be the head of. Asking women questions like, what do they bring to the table when you don't even own your table, you rent it. Hell, that's even if you do rent it because it's probably in your mama name. I mean, if we could call the thing a thing, y'all are the common denominator out of every issue that we have in the black community. Y'all are literally the root cause. Blame black women for fatherless behavior, but then fail to realize that the father is the person that you're not blaming. Y'all blame men for being gay and say, yo, you grew up without a father. Do you see how you just pointed back to the issue? Y'all blame women for having too many kids as if they made them kids by themselves. You keep pointing back to the issue. Y'all be wanting people to hold y'all down, but at the same time, if they too good at it, then they too independent. Then you want to say, oh yeah, like you don't need me. They kind of don't. Maybe what y'all should start considering is that maybe our community is meant to be matriarchal. But y'all just can't accept it because it doesn't fit into what the white man has told you to believe. You're trying to do everything that the white man does, but you're just trying to do it in black. It's literally the same shit. I mean, y'all are the most homophobic, the most misogynistic, the most transphobic, the most colorist, the most texturist, like the most xenophobic. And you are the most likely to date outside of your race. Y'all are a walking contradiction and a walking joke, and it's not funny. I always want to talk about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth, but you don't even have life insurance. Anytime you die, we got to do a damn GoFundMe. Y'all can't even die right. Y'all just trying to stick this square peg in a round hole for centuries, and it just doesn't work because you're not meant to be the head of the household. You were never meant to be. That's why the shit doesn't work.
Okay, that was a black man that said that.
Right.
I was hollering this morning. before
Okay,
I-
wait, we got to get into it because we're over time. What's your thoughts on that young black man's spew or expression of how he looks at things? Who want to go
I
first?
mean, he had some valid points, and then some stuff he was wrong. And I'm just gonna say he was wrong, but he had a lot of very good valid points, especially when y'all came to direct.
That was funny though. Go ahead, Amber. Talk to me. What's your thoughts on this young man?
I think he was right. I mean, it was, if you look at the data, if you look at the statistics, if you look at the numbers, I mean, it's true. It's true. You know, I could say a lot of things, but I'll just say that it's true. And I think that as a woman, I don't have a penis. I've never been a man. I'm not transgender or anything like that. The best thing for women to do is really just pour into yourself and then just build yourself up, heal yourself, heal your own traumas, educate yourself, build up your own resume, and then only deal with men that are on your level, whatever color they are.
Okay.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, today's footnote is we speak of our experiences. So if you've experienced it, your opinion is not wrong. And a lot of people have the tendency to say that somebody's wrong or somebody's different, but that's him speaking from his experience, and that we must trust. Okay? Our experience is different because some of it, I'm like, wow. I said, wow. I didn't say he was wrong. I was like, wow, what a terrible experience. Now, did we experience the one that we thought was funny? That you can't even die right? You know we did, because we seen it. That's why it was funny. It was like, bam, you dead on. And most of the time when we agree with someone, it's our experiences too. Be like, I experienced that. That's why comedy is important. And we laugh at ourselves. We laugh at things that we experience and we can relate to. All right, lovely people. I want to bring it back to our guy who won, or the company that won the Black History Spotlight. And the information is below, so you guys can jot that stuff down and reach out. And he said it's under one umbrella, which is good, a DBA, like doing business as Larry's Repairs. You know what I mean? I think that's amazing. And then when you talk about breaking generational curses, didn't sound like this young man had a curse, because his mama let him put a TV in her car, her Cadillac, back then, okay? So everyone's background is not the same. It's so important to understand that. We do tend to project our feelings on our experiences. So get to know one another, love one another, support one another until you see that you're getting weak and you need recharge. Let them go, I'll tell you. I'm like, because they'll pull from you, pull. You're like, well, wait, I want to help somebody else. But you keep putting your bid in. It is not a first come, first serve here on Shop Talk with Mel. It is, I invited you because I see something in you. If you think you're going to come on the show, and I'm just going to let you know, I'm not going to let you come on the show. If you are to let us down, if you know me, and if you plan on making me sad, if you are willing to learn and uplift yourself, and they say pull yourself up from the bootstraps, show us, teach us how to overcome. That's why today's topic is any suggestions. And we're going to talk about next week. What is it, Amber? Should parents drive?
Oh, well, I should have reworded it, but are parents obligated to have a vehicle?
Yeah, there we
what
go.
I meant to wasn't quite the wording, but I was like, that's not.
But that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, because it does seem like the world is operating around everybody has a vehicle, and everybody has an automobile. Everybody has ways to do things instead of looking at what if they don't. But we got you covered. Happy Black History Month, lovely ladies and all the listening audience. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. And I realize that the one thing we cannot get back is time. So I truly appreciate you. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shop talk.
Shop talk.
Almost. We got to get in the studio again.